All right, let's break down a critical safety update. On September 26, 2025, EASA issued Airworthiness Directive 2025-213, and it's a big one for certain Leonardo AW189 helicopters. In this explainer, we're going to dive into exactly what this means for your safety and compliance programs.
Here's our game plan. We're going to cover 4 key areas. First, what's the actual problem, the unsafe condition? Then, we'll look at exactly which aircraft are affected. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what you need to do and when. And finally, we'll wrap it up with a quick summary for everyone on the team.
So what kicked all this off? It boils down to something pretty serious: heavy corrosion damage that was discovered on the engine mount external fittings on a few AW189s. We're talking about the fundamental connection point between the engine and the airframe itself.
And EASA doesn't mince words on this one. The AD literally says that if this corrosion isn't found and fixed, it could reduce the structural integrity of the engine mount. That's a direct threat to flight safety, and it's something we have to take very seriously.
Okay, so which parts are we actually talking about here? We're zeroing in on the left-hand and right-hand engine mount external fittings. You can see the specific part numbers right here on the screen. These are the components your teams need to be tracking for this AD.
Now you might be wondering, does this apply to my entire AW189 fleet? Let's clear that up right now. This is a very, very focused directive.
In fact, the scope is incredibly narrow. This ad only applies to a specific block of just 10 helicopters from an early production run. That's it, just 10.
And here they are. This table shows you exactly which aircraft are on the list. We're looking at Leonardo AW189s with serial numbers running from 92001 all the way through 92010. If you operate any of these machines, compliance is absolutely mandatory.
All right, let's get to the heart of it. What do you actually have to do and when? This is the crucial part for all the maintenance, planning, and camo teams out there.
So, Leonardo's Service Bulletin 189-402 lays out a clear 3-step plan. Think of it like this. First, you've got a recurring visual check. Second, there's a much deeper, one-time detailed inspection. And third, of course, are the corrective actions you have to take if you find anything wrong.
And you really need to pay close attention to these deadlines. That first inspection, Part I, has to be done within 100 flight hours. After that initial check, it becomes a recurring inspection every 400 flight hours. Now that big Part 2 inspection, you have up to 24 months to get it done, or at the first engine removal, whichever of those happens first.
Now listen up, because this next point is non-negotiable. If any of your inspections find any crack or any corrosion, and I mean any at all, the instruction is immediate and absolute. That aircraft is grounded, period. You must contact Leonardo's engineering team for instructions before the next flight. There's zero wiggle room here.
So for all the planners out there, you're probably asking, how do we get out of doing these 400-hour inspections forever? Well, the good news is the AD gives you 2 clear pathways to close this out for good. Path 1 is the most direct. Just replace the part. You swap out that affected fitting with a brand new, serviceable one, and boom, you're done. The AD is closed for that component. Path 2 relies on inspection. If you perform that detailed Part 2 inspection and it comes back completely clean, no cracks, no corrosion, nothing, that clean finding also constitutes terminating action. You're free from the repetitive checks.
Okay, let's wrap this up and boil it all down into a high-level summary. What's the real operational impact for your teams?
When we look at the big picture, a few things stand out. The urgency is definitely high, mainly because of that 100-hour deadline for the first check. The risk of aircraft downtime is also high, but only if you find corrosion. A finding will ground the helicopter for sure. But the good news is, the overall fleet impact is really specific. It's contained to just those 10 serial numbers.
So, let's run through the crucial points one last time. It's a small, defined group of aircraft. That first inspection is urgent. Any finding means an immediate AOG situation. A clean, detailed inspection or a part replacement provides a permanent solution. And finally, seamless coordination between your camo, maintenance, and planning teams is absolutely essential to get this done smoothly.
To wrap up, all operators of these specific serial numbers must ensure full compliance with AD 2025-0213 by the stated deadlines. For the complete, unabridged instructions, your primary sources are the official EASA AD and Leonardo Service Bulletin 189-402. Make sure your teams have them, read them, and understand them inside and out.